It's time to meet your neighbor, courtesy of United Supermarket right here in Muleshoe. Wishing you a very Merry Christmas. And also, we are visiting with one of our own, a Muleshoe High School student, Rachelle Whitworth. Rachelle, you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. What did you do this Thanksgiving 2015?
I was able to march in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade as part of the Great American Marching Band.
Welcome back to Thanksgiving morning on NBC, and get excited because the big moment has arrived.
It's the best moment every year. Out in front commemorating their 10th anniversary is the Macy's Great American Marching Band. These students represent the best high school band members in all 50 states, and today 60 alumni musicians from the first 9 years have joined the regular band. Directors Richard Good and Doug Rosner and producer Dennis Rose present a New York medley.
And how were you selected?
I had to go through a process of auditions and send in an application and an audition video.
And was the audition on video only?
Yes.
It wasn't in person. And so I bet you're in the Muleshoe High School Mighty M marching band.
Yes, I am.
The concert band. Mm-hmm. And so are you, what position or what did you play in the band?
In the Macy's Great American Marching Band, I was one of the color guard members.
How wonderful. Now, how did you learn the routine?
Well, we only had 1 day to learn it in about 7 hours, and we practiced it straight for 7 hours.
7 hours. So I guess that was actually in New York when you got there.
Yes.
No instructions came to your home here in Muleshoe.
No, they didn't.
And so I guess you were a little bit anxious.
Really anxious. It was hard to learn them, and it was pretty frustrating until I got the hang of it.
Uh-huh. And so for 7 hours straight, in what location there in New York did you practice?
Well, we didn't really practice in New York. We practiced in New Jersey. Uh-huh. It was in a hotel that we practiced. I forgot what the name of it was, but it was in New Jersey.
Now, was the band with you when you were practicing, or just the...
Whenever we were practicing whenever we were practicing the routine, they weren't with us, but then we all combined the next day and learned everything.
Uh-huh. So you left Muleshoe what date?
November 21st.
November 21st. And what day was Thanksgiving this year?
The 26th.
Uh-huh. So you were there quite a while. And when did you come home?
I came back home on the 28th.
So were there other things that you did besides the actual parade?
We went to go watch Les Miserables on Broadway, and we went to go eat at the Hard Rock Cafe and at Planet Hollywood, and we got to go bowling. Uh-huh. It was pretty fun.
And so now, were you sponsored by anyone, or did your parents pay for the trip?
Well, my parents paid for about half of it, and then everybody around Muleshoe, I had little jars set up at stores, and they would donate to me. And it was really awesome to be able to have that chance in such a supporting community.
Oh, that's wonderful. Your parents are whom?
Gayleen and Seth Whitworth.
And what does your father do?
He is an engineer at the Tolk Station Power Plant.
And your mother?
She's a 7th grade reading teacher at Friona Junior High.
And do you have brothers or sisters?
I have 2 sisters and then a little brother.
And tell me their names and their ages.
Well, there's Jenna Whitworth, who's 22, and then Sarah, who's 20, and my little brother is Ethan, and he's 9.
And how old are you now?
I'm 17.
And so I guess you're a senior.
Yes.
And what do you plan to do after you graduate?
After I graduate, I'm planning on going to West Texas A&M and studying to become a math and science teacher.
How wonderful. I know you'll be great. And so there's just, how many of you are at home right now?
Me, my little brother, and my mom and dad.
So there's just the four of you right now. So now tell us, how far in the actual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade did you march?
We marched about 3 to 4 miles, and it was really fast marching too. Like we were basically running.
Were you tired after that?
Yes, we got to go back to the hotel and take like a 5-hour nap.
Oh, hey, now I bet you did now.
I did.
And here we have a picture that was made right there in front of Macy's. Now, is this the front door of the big Macy's store in downtown Manhattan?
Yes, it is.
And, of course, this was the shot that you saw on television. And I watched for you, but I couldn't see you. Did your parents find you?
Whenever I got home and pointed myself out to them, they did.
What memory do you think that you will always remember about this Thanksgiving 2015 in New York City and the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
I think just being able to make a lifelong dream come true and making a ton of new friends and having that experience of, wow, I was actually in something bigger than what's around me right now. And that if you put your mind to it, you can achieve great things.
Now, how did you learn about being able to march with the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
Well, our color guard instructor, who also instructs Friendship High School.
Now, who is she?
It's he and she. They're married, and it's Brian and Cindy Grubin. And they helped me. I was talking to them one day about it last year, and they're like, oh, well, we can help you with that. And if you come by, we'll like videotape you and help you send an application for it. It was pretty awesome.
Well, that was neat that they knew how and were able to assist you. Now, besides being in the band, of course, you don't all year do the flags. So what do you play in the band?
I also play the flute.
The flute, but never at the same time with the flags.
Oh, no, that would be pretty challenging.
Yes. And what about, how many years have you been in the flag corps?
I've been in it since my freshman year, so 4 years.
All 4 years. So you've really enjoyed that.
I have. It's been one opportunity that I will never forget.
Now, how many are in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in this band?
There was about 180 of us. There was 39 color guard members from all across the nation.
And they're all American.
Yes.
And that's nice. Well, where was this actual picture made?
I think that one was on the 7th Avenue. On one of the streets that we marched on.
So sort of where was the route of the parade?
It was going along Central Park and making its way around to Herald Square.
Had you ever been in New York City before?
No.
So you flew by yourself?
I flew by myself with another girl who was from Lubbock, Texas.
Oh, good. That made it nice for both of you.
Yeah, it did.
And what was her name?
Her name was Brianne Hinkle.
Is she a senior also?
No, she was a junior.
And what, can she go back next year in March or not?
She can if she auditions again.
And which high school does she go to in Lubbock?
Friendship High School.
Friendship. And now here's another lovely picture of the group. And where is this one made?
I think it was on 6th Avenue.
And so here is another picture. And where was this one made?
This one was made at Times Square.
Was that a thrill to just walk into Times Square?
It was a huge thrill. We spent a couple days after rehearsals in Times Square just walking about in groups and getting to go into different stores that were really huge.
Did you shop in Macy's?
Yes.
Did you buy something?
I bought a few clothes.
Did you?
Yes.
Wonderful. How many stories are there? Do you know?
In Macy's, there's 8. It's 8 stories high, and they have at the very top of it, they have a whole section for just Christmas decorations.
Oh, how wonderful! And so, tell us in this group picture. Point out where you are.
I am right there.
Right there. And so, do you think that you made any friends that you will keep in touch with?
I think I've made a few friends that I'll keep in touch with. We all follow each other on Facebook and Instagram.
Oh, sure. That makes it so much easier, doesn't it?
It does. And then we'll stay in touch sometimes. I actually met a few people that were from around our area, and we're planning on meeting up sometime and catching up.
That's great. Now, tell me, where were some of the other teenagers from?
Well, there were some from Lubbock, Texas, and Amarillo, Texas, and I think there was one from Canyon.
Now, how do you think this helped you as a student?
I think with it, they had a leadership seminar to where it makes you a better leader and makes you realize that if you actually put your mind to something, you can achieve some of the greatest things and some of the your biggest dreams that you've ever had.
How wonderful. Now, what are some of the other things that you enjoy participating in here?
I enjoy participating in the Mighty M Band, of course, the Muleshoe High School Choir, and the speech and debate team.
And what do you do in speech and debate?
In speech and debate, I do Lincoln Douglas debate and persuasive speaking.
And so how are you doing this year?
I'm doing pretty good. I've won a couple of places, couple of trophies. It's been a great senior year so far.
Wonderful. Well, this just is a dream come true for any teenager. And you're 17 years old, and that we have been visiting on Meet Your Neighbor, courtesy of United Supermarket here in Muleshoe, Rachelle Whitworth, and she has just returned from marching in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade 2015.